Hey guys, Mr. Mike's21 here. We are back to some extremely exciting news here with the announcement of our fourth theHunter game. If you want to call it theHunter, it's theAngler, but we are close enough. Of course, that's if you count theHunter Primal, the failed dinosaur survival spin-off game from theHunter. And this is immediately excited me. I love fishing, but a lot of the fishing games out there just don't have great mechanics, or they're a little too complex. And if someone's going to make something complex and work, it's definitely the Expansive Worlds team. They've been able to do it with both the Hunter Classic and the Hunter Call of the Wild. Of course, I've been with them for so long, and to see them make it to this point, I remember when I used to have to launch the Hunter from a web browser window before it was even on Steam. It's just come so far. Of course, the original Call of the Wild, bringing forth their new engine, showing off their new mechanics. I'm thinking this is going to be very similar. It's on the same engine. So I'm sure you've all seen the trailer. We're going to go through it. I am going to talk over it to some extent, kind of point out what's in there, what we should take away, and what there is to be very excited for.
What is it about your hobby that keeps you coming all the way out here? Is it the freedom, wandering in search of that?
So pause real quick. Possible lodge. I'm assuming they're probably going to have lodges very similar to the way the Call of the Wild is set up.
Perfect spot. You've made your own path through these hills. Tasted the fresh water of our lakes, our rivers. You've been on the water with friends at sunrise and
now my prediction, very possibly true, possible hint at our first reserve here, or at least the reserve we're looking at.
help the locals long past sunset. But you just keep coming back. At this,
So we've got the vehicles. Looks like there's some possible interaction point here, maybe to spawn your boats, since you don't have to necessarily tow them, or maybe you do. We do have what looks to be like a 4x4 utility vehicle.
spot, you got a pretty good idea what's lurking beneath the surface. But there's only one way to find out. Whether it's the one you write home about or the...
And I've just got to say, look at this model. I'm not sure whether this is a northern pike or a muskie. I think it's a muskie, just based off the fins, but I could be wrong. But it's just gorgeous. And of course,
the one that gets...
even the bluegill, simple little bluegill, just beautiful, beautiful colors. Looks great. The model looks hyper realistic, just like they really try to make everything.
way. That feeling is what gets you hooked. That whether it's your first time or your 100th time, you never know what you're gonna catch until it's caught. Call of the Wild, theAngler.
And you know, just like the Call of the Wild trailer, I don't think it matters how many times I see this, it's always going to give me goosebumps because they're just so spot on. It's just, the hype is real, and it looks amazing. It has to be. Everything they do is. But I'm just wonderful. And of course, we have no release date. At the time of filming this, it is Tuesday, the 21st of June, I think. I get messed up on the months off the top of my head. So there should be a interview with our community manager, probably the day this is going up, with the community manager and the head game designer, picking his brain about what's going on. So I have some speculative stuff. We're kind of going to look at what the description shows us and just be hyped that this is existing. I really never thought we would see Call of the Wild integrate fishing. Of course, it's not integrating fishing. It is a new game. It probably is getting to the point where the mechanics are, there's so many of them, that it would just make the game unplayable. But the hype for this is way more real than Reventuli Coast. Sorry, guys, I'm not as much of a small game and bird hunter in video games. Love it in real life, but just if I'm going to shoot something in a video game, I want to shoot something big. I don't need to worry about the reality of it. It's a video game. Okay, so from the... It's just going to look beautiful. Definitely looks like... reminds me of both both Leighton Lake and Silver Ridge Peaks. That's kind of look it's going for. So I'm assuming this is some sort of Rocky Mountain map. And you've got it, the winding rivers, majestic alpine peaks, turquoise springs, epic hiking trails, and hidden ponds. Oh, look, it even says right here, I missed this looking at the first time. Outposts and lookout towers. So there it is, the same mechanic from Call of the Wild that we all know and love. And hinting at night, being able to go out at night. Of course, it's going to be very similar to Call of the Wild. And we have something hinted at here that we don't get any teaser of, and that's our largemouth bass, mountain whitefish. So both, again, North American fish. If we come down here, it does say the intuitive casting system. Fingers crossed. So many games get it confused, like I was saying. Fishing Planet, awesome, but it's so in-depth and so complicated, it's almost unplayable. Or at least, it's almost unplayable for fun. It starts to become more of a chore. When I think of fishing, I think of something relaxing. You just go and you sit there, you put your line in the water, you cast, you just relax, not doing calculations and mini games. So I really hope they, if anyone's going to do it right, it's definitely going to be Expansive Worlds. Of course, I'm not going to ignore what's going on down here. Of course, we have our muskie or our pike from the trailer. Got channel cat, beautiful rainbow trout. That's our mountain whitefish, yellow perch, in a golden trout. So the golden trout really nails down your location. It's definitely going to be Rocky Mountains, West Coast. I just love that perch. Where is he? Where is the cute little thing? Look at that. Look at the gill plate. Just, it's perch, one of my favorite fish to catch during the winter here in New England. And they're just perfect. Just spot on. Just as good as it could be. Wide range of rods, customized continuously, growing selection of reels, rods, lures, and bait. So there'll be plastics and naturals probably. I'm assuming they're going to be as in-depth as Fishing Planet, hopefully just a little simpler. And continuously growing, of course, they're going to be bringing more constantly. Take on the biggest fishing challenges, solo or with friends. Now, I am going to say, I'm going to predict this is only going to have one map at launch. That's probably going to be, or might very well be, an incorrect prediction. But what I'm thinking is based on the way they're talking. When Call of the Wild was first announced, they said, or hinted at having black bears and moose, which of course became Leighton Lakes, even though they just showed Hirschfelden. Whereas these guys are just showing this mysterious new Northwest, we'll call it, reserve, and just northwestern fish. We don't have, I mean, all things considered, I could be completely wrong, and that perch could very well be a European perch, which looks the same as a yellow perch. I don't think that's the case, but it very well could be. But in the coming days, we will find out more information, and I could not be more hyped. So I will I'll keep updating, hoping to post more now. My schedule's a little bit different, post every Wednesday or Tuesday night, and we'll definitely have some coverage coming out of the campaign playthrough for Reventuli Coast when it comes out. However, that has just taken a massive backseat to the hype train that is Call of the Wild, theAngler. And why couldn't they call it theAngler Call of the Wild and make things simple? But here we are. Alright guys, have a good night.